So romantic and intimate.
Nope.
Oh, never mind.
Right.
Moment is over.
No, we're not romantic.
Alrighty. So yeah, whenever you everything's recording right now.
All right,
so
we're rolling.
Yep.
That camera is your guys's, and that one is Mark and mine.
Okay.
So whenever you're
Ready
ready.
to go?
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll dive into it after the introduction. Stop talking.
Sounds good. My name is Lacey Joyce.
My name is Davin Burlingham.
My name's Reed Dickey.
And this is another episode of the Sit Down Podcast.
Heck yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to
you.
our hometown of Bellevue here at Le Capitan Restaurant. Yes. Welcome you guys as well. Thank you for coming.
We have a studio of like 100 people. It's like a crowd.
I know.
Yeah,
The whole
I
town
know.
is here, man. I'm telling you.
There might be 200 people in this little restaurant. It's packed.
Yeah.
Freaking right. There's more people here than we're at Moose Fest this year. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're very grateful that you guys came out here to hang out with us this week. You guys did some music for us before we started recording this. I do want to mention, actually, before we get into it, you guys, my apologies, but I do want to let the people know at home that this episode of the podcast is actually brought to you by Moose Fest and Funky Moose Records. If you guys are spinning vinyl records there, please give Funky, but you could do the plug on that.
Yeah, if you want to buy records, do it at my store.
There you
All
go. Go
right.
to Funky Moose Records, you guys. You can get your record players there, your vinyls. There's even band merch there from some of our friends. I think
Northern
there's
Royals. being
Yeah,
one
you
of
can
them.
get Northern Royals merch there. You can get some Weapons merch, Tyler Gilbert.
Yep.
Go to the website, check it out, you guys. But coming back to you guys. So I feel like we were talking earlier how this, I want to say it's been like 2 years in the making of you guys coming out here. Mark and I have been doing this show for going on 4 years now, and we've known each other, I think, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't recall the first time we actually got to meet.
Must be Dog Patch.
I was going to say, I don't remember when we met in person because I became aware of you through Mark Butler and you had him on your podcast. And you guys had a really
Right.
interesting conversation about music festivals, like
Yep.
supporting
Yeah.
one another and promoting and, making use of one another's audiences.
Absolutely.
So that is how I first heard about you guys.
So
Shout
it
out to
would
Mark.
shout out to Dog Patch out there. We freaking love you guys out there. So that has to have been 2 years ago, I think. And then I had seen you perform there, and you performed there again this last year
Yes,
on the
we were
on the
actually
side
booked
stage,
this-
right?
Yes.
Yeah, hell
I was
yeah.
just jamming the first year. Like I was just a random person who showed up with a guitar. But then we actually were booked this past summer.
Freaking rights. Well, rightfully so. You guys are
Thank you.
phenomenal. Mark and I, we get the pleasure of seeing you guys quite regularly on Tuesday nights as well, and we're so happy you guys come out there.
I remember the
Definitely.
first time I saw Davin.
Yeah?
I was really excited because I think you were wearing a tie and you went on stage with your electric guitar. I was like, I wonder where this is going. And then it went.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the times I got a pickup band. I just picked up whoever was in the
I
vicinity.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that was great.
Right.
Yeah.
How many bands are you legitimately in?
Two.
Two
So,
for
there's this group and then Riley and the Pickups.
Okay.
Their home base is Buds on Broadway, and they also play at Somewhere Else. There's a Somewhere Else gig coming, and we had an out of town gig this summer that unfortunately got rained out. But yeah, those are the two bands.
Okay,
This one and
cool.
Riley and the Pickups.
For those of you in audience and at home as well, Somewhere Else is one of the pubs in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's called Somewhere Else's Pub and Grill. So it's not like he's just saying, we
Yeah,
play
we went
somewhere else.
Yeah. And if
how
you
about-
go there, you might find a moose on the wall. Anyway.
Friggin' rights. I feel like you kind of dialed it back here, though, because when we see you on Tuesday nights, holy shit, man, you're jumping around, making use of the whole stage. Not that you didn't do that here, but as I was looking at the camera when you guys were performing, too, I was like, holy shit, if he jumps, he's, like, going to crack his head on the freaking ceiling here, too. But you're very, you definitely make use of your area, for sure. Is that a natural thing, or is that are you self-conscious about that, or is it just kind of happen?
No, that's a new thing from getting into actual physical shape. It's a new thing for me in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Like I was really, really in terrible shape up until about 2021, and so I wouldn't have done that if I would. I used to weigh like 300 pounds.
No,
And then
really?
I did. Yeah, I was up at about 300 in 2021, and so I lost a bunch of weight. I think I've lost about 90 pounds, and so ever since that happened, then it is natural. Then when I'm in proper, okay shape, then it just comes totally naturally to jump around and be crazy like that. Yeah.
Can I ask what did you do to lose the 90 pounds?
Yeah, it's don't eat carbs and lift weights. That's how I did it. Yeah.
Holy smokes! And hence the
That
no
sounds
sugar.
simple.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, no sugar, no sugar, no carbs, and lift weights. And yeah, I didn't do I didn't do any cardio. Like cardio was getting me nowhere for a long, long time. And so I gave it like treadmills and exercise bikes and just barbells. I find that works really well for me. So I think that helped with the stage. Being happy to be on stage and jumping around and having a lot of fun,
Freaking rights. I will also say too, I think that's the most I've ever heard you say since we've known each other.
Yeah.
You're a very quiet guy, I've noticed. Like you're very
But give him a guitar.
yeah, holy shit, man, and can you sing, bro? Like very good.
We all speak our own language.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, yeah.
We're going to do Give It a Rest first.
So now you want me to talk after 4 damn months, well I don't care what's up. You really gotta be more careful just what you wish for. I guess you didn't like the sound of my silence, probably why you're threatening my bandmate with violence, yelling at me, causing a scene out in front of the bar. But if you really wanna hear me say something, I'll say stop, give it a rest, stop talking about me to our friends. I'll give you my word, I haven't said a word to anyone about you. I'm just out here living my life, trying to get by. And mister, I really don't have the time to waste on problems like you. And that's the truth. So now it's the end of our fun, 'cause I said I was done and you don't care, so shut up. You told me I was nothing and now that's all I owe you. I guess you didn't like your own consequences. Now you're out here talking about mending some fences. You think you're such a big man, little buddy. You don't have a clue. But if you really want to hear me say something, I'll say stop, give it a rest, stop talking about me to our friends. I'll give you my word, I haven't said a word to anyone about you. I'm just out here living my life, trying to get by. And mister, I really don't have the time to waste on problems like you. And that's the truth. consider they're repelled by your personality. But if you want some free advice, I'd say stop, give it a rest, stop talking about me to our friends. I'll give you my word, I haven't said a word to anyone about you. I'm just out here living my life, trying to get by. And mister, I really don't have the time to waste on problems like you. And that's the truth.
Thank you.
So how about you, Reed? How long have you been playing with these guys? And are there other projects that you're performing with as well?
So, Lacey and I have been playing music together since like April. You said,
Yeah, something like that.
So,
Maybe
like,
even a
April,
little sooner. Winter.
We met like April 2022 at the Capitol at an open stage, and and we didn't really start playing music together or doing anything until the next year.
Yeah.
And we were just doing me on bass, Lacey playing guitar, singing, writing songs, and then you tell me that the day, but when Davin came into the project in the summer.
Yeah, I met
You're
Davin,
like,
Davin
yeah,
in the middle
so-
of April. We'd been playing, like Reed and I had been playing together for like maybe a month, a couple weeks.
Hasn't been.
And
It hasn't
we
been
were-
that long.
No, it hasn't been
Really?
that long.
Like, it's less than
6 months.
6
for the
months,
three
yeah.
of us. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And then as far as other projects, I have been playing bass for a few other projects, but nothing right now per se. So no, mainly Lacey and Davin and I right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Beauty.
And you said before we started recording that you used to play six strings.
Yeah, I played guitar forever. Like I really was just I never played bass until like 3 years ago. So I just decided to switch over to bass. Yeah. So I played with numerous different people with guitar and trying to get projects going, bands going, and yeah, now I'm playing bass. So I still play guitar and still want to go back to playing guitar. And if it works out, if I find the right people to play with. So,
Right.
but yeah, bass and guitar, what I mostly do. So.
And how did you find each other as a band? Like, started with you, I guess, right?
So,
Well,
yeah, like
no?
Reed said, he and I met at the Capitol.
Right.
I think we probably the first time we ever actually jammed together was like not just this past summer, but
In
a
the
year
summer,
ago.
yeah.
We got together and we like it's kind of this is so dumb. It's sort of on my life list. Like I want to go busking, which people do it all the time.
Right.
I don't know why this is such a like intimidating concept to me, because I know you go all the time. And so we met up together, and I was too nervous to actually play where I thought people would hear us, but we just went down by the river at kind of like a not so busy place. And we jammed on guitar. Yeah, in Saskatoon. Yeah, and we jammed with guitars. And Reed actually started writing a song. It was really good. I don't know if you finished it, but Reed is also a great guitar player and songwriter. And so that's
that
how
song
we started.
hasn't developed much. No, it's yeah, it's
It was developed just enough to hook Lacey.
Yeah, just
right?
like that.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, we started out as like we were musicians who ran into each other at jams, but we never really played together for a good year. And then I had a friend who was more experienced than me who said, you should start with a bass player. Like if you want to start building a band, start with a bass player who knows your songs and then go from there. So that's kind of how Reed and I
Interesting.
started. Yeah, I tend to pick people I want to work with based on like a lot of different factors, not just if I think they're a good musician.
Yeah.
And although they are good musicians, that's not the question. That is not the question.
Reed's a nice guy, can't play, but whatever.
Yeah, but he's like nice. So Reed is a great bass player.
Thank you.
But also we started out as friends, so it's if you know that you can get along with somebody on that level, then it makes it kind of easy to have a collaborative process because you're already on good terms.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. So that's how Reed and I started, and then Mark booked me for the dog patch, and so that was sort of the thing that he and I were working toward. And then I met Davin about like a month or so later at Bud's, and I also was very excited to watch him play because there's just nobody more exciting to watch on stage than Davin. So
No doubt.
that's how we met and became friends. And then after we jammed together a couple of times, and then I asked if he'd be willing to do or interested in doing the dog patch show with us, and he was. And so we started practicing as a trio, and here we are.
And here we
The
are.
rest is history.
I freaking love that. So do you guys have, like, I've seen you guys performing on stage multiple times, but do you have, like, any released music out there that people can, like, find and listen to? Like
So,
on Spotify or
Personally,
anything?
I don't, but Davin actually does. He does have some secret music.
That was
Nobody
that
knows about.
secret I was going to get into that I was telling you about on Tuesday.
Did
but-
you find
but
his
go ahead.
Spotify?
I did not. I'll be honest. I didn't look for it, but a
Secret.
little birdie told me this past Tuesday.
Colin told you.
He most
Colin
definitely
mastered it, yeah.
It was my man Colin. He was telling me how he
He's
mastered
great.
your album
Colin,
and
Colin Glass.
that you've got a solo album coming out here.
I do. I just uploaded it to CD Baby 2 days ago.
Oh.
Hell yeah, dude!
Very fresh.
Bravo!
Nice.
This that's amazing.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
But it's
So
not
it's-
released yet, right? It's
just uploaded.
It's in the
so
chamber.
you put it on Spotify, and then I think they have to check it to make sure that there's no
Right.
copyright violations, there's no hate speech on it or anything like
Yes.
that. Which, and it takes about 2 weeks, and then it's up. So in about 2 weeks. It's under my name, Davin Burlingham.
Okay, right on.
Yeah,
And then
sweet.
how many? Is it just a single, or is there like how
It's
many tracks?
8 tracks.
Okay.
8 tracks, 7 of which were written by me, and 2 of them Lacey co-wrote.
Thanks.
Yeah, remember.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the Rio
I
Stars.
did.
And one of them is written by a guy that I met years and years ago at a Vancouver open mic. So it's got that open mic kind of spirit. Again, in Mike Wetterings,
Okay.
Okay.
very cool guy in Vancouver that I met, and my friend, I made the album with an old friend in Kelowna, and her name is Sadie Black. And Sadie knew Mike Wetterings too. It's just a total coincidence. And she said, "You got to do this song by Mike called What Are the Stars For?" So there's seven by me, and Lacey helped out, and 1 by Mike Wetterings. And I called the album. I was going to call it something different, but I called it "I Hear the Echo Cry." So that's the name of the album. Should be out in about 2 weeks.
Beauty. So is it just on streaming will it just be on streaming platforms, or are you releasing it to radio at all or anything like that as well?
I don't know how to release anything to radio. I guess, like Lacey says, you get CDs and you send them to stations. I haven't actually made CDs,
Right.
That's one way.
but it's very cheap to make CDs nowadays. Like when I used to be in a band 20 years ago, and it would cost like $1,000 or $2,000 to make CDs. Now it's nothing.
Right.
They can make you CDs really easy.
Well, I kind of dabble in that myself a little bit. I've done CDs for like The Hour Hand, Caitlin Lehner, The Radiant, Jake Vadaland, and then some other artists. I think one was Saltwater Joy. I can't remember some of the other artists. Like, there'll be a pastor that has an album for his parish or whatever, and I'll make those too. To actually make them, you're absolutely right. It'll cut to get the CDs and like get the jackets, all that kind of stuff, probably costs me around $2, maybe $2.25 per disc, right? That's completed. But if I'm doing that for somebody else, like I can't really charge them $2.50 a disc because then I'm just breaking even, and it takes me like 10 hours to do it, right? So when I do it, for any artists out there who are listening that might need some help with it, I like to try and keep it, $4 or $5 a CD, and that's all in, and I'll do absolutely everything, shrink wrap it and everything. But it's a lot. The hardest part is the sleeves, the jackets. What I do is I there's a company in Prince Albert, Adcom Solutions, I basically get the 3 images from the artist. I'll send them over to him. We've got our own little template there, and he puts it on there, and then he's got a Xerox machine, so he just, scans them all out, but then I literally have to cut them all out individually. And I can't use scissors because it just looks like crap, so I'm there with the scalpel on every single one,
Wow,
man.
that's a lot of labor.
And then you have to score them, fold them, glue them, all that kind of stuff. So it's very tedious and time-consuming, but inexpensive.
He was very excited when he started this business.
Oh, I thought I was going to be a millionaire, man. I thought that's not how that works at all. But it's been a blast doing it. So yeah, Kit Langfield, another one. I did some CDs for.
Oh yeah, we know
Yep.
Kit. We've seen him lots of places.
Yeah,
Good.
He
Great.
also played at Dog Patch.
That's
He
right.
did,
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Man, he's all over the place. Hey, like he was performing with Bros G. I think they're actually having. By the time this airs, would have been I think their last one with Bros G.
Yep.
And then now he's got a whole other clan with him. He was on the show here a few weeks ago. So if you guys want to know more about that, just go back in the list and check out that episode too.
Yeah.
But
I guess you'd say I'm an open book. My heart was on my sleeve when I wrote the hook. And every single thing that happens to me is a story. I wouldn't say I'm stable. I've been known to change my mind, but with all these voices in my head, can you really blame me if I see both sides? I can't help but see it's always been the moon in me. Gemini moon. I say that I don't, but later I do. It just depends on my mood and the phase of the moon. My mind's always changing, but my heart is true. I don't expect you'd get it, but maybe you do. And that Gemini moon is moving you too. I'm not much for order. I like to live my life on chaos edge. And if you tried to tell me to clean the house, I'd probably turn around and hit the road instead. I can't help but see when I feel a touch pull on me. Gemini moon. I say that I don't, and later I do. It just depends on my mood and the phase of the moon. Always changing, but my heart is true. I don't expect you to get it, but maybe you do. And that Gemini moon is moving you too. And that Gemini moon is moving you too.
Thank you.
So you want to busk, but you go down to the river where nobody can see you?
Well, it's because I wasn't ready. I was nervous, so I had to just play outside where nobody could see, and then maybe later downtown where people. Yeah,
Okay.
no, we didn't expect people to come upon us. That was
Okay,
the
okay.
idea.
But have you been busking or no?
I haven't. No, it was like the one. Well, not the one. There were many things I wanted to do this summer, but that was maybe the one thing I didn't do. It was like September already, and I realized, oh, I guess I didn't busk this summer.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I used to do busking. So
You?
2022, I did like every weekend. Some other musicians, we would go in front of Hudson's Friday, Saturday, and then previous years I would do like Winston's downtown,
Oh, yeah.
the Gandhi statue during the day. I did the Fringe in 2017, but Hudson's was really fun. I used to do busking all the time. This summer was one of the only summers I didn't. I think probably because it was more focused on like rehearsing for Dog Patch, knowing Lacey's
yeah, we practiced
songs.
once a
and-
week. You were in
yeah,
another
we were
project
practicing lots. Yeah, and I was in another project at the time, which is since dissolved. But yeah, I used to busk every weekend in Saskatoon, and I really love doing it. It is fun.
what
Yeah.
So when you're busking, is it like, do people come and like, are they dropping money?
Yeah,
at you?
Like Hudson's was a
That's-
really
that's
good
what busking is.
example.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe
There'd be like hundreds of people, 100, 200 people in the lineup in Hudson's. And so I was playing bass. Bryce was playing guitar and songwriting. We had Gustav playing 5-gallon pails as drums.
Oh, yeah.
And we had another guitar player at times, a lead guitar. Lots of people would just come by and throw money. Lots of, drunk people, whatever, going to the bar and be like, hey, can I sing a song? Do you know this song? It's always requesting songs. And then, hey, can I borrow the mic and sing a song? And a lot of the times Bryce would just be like, yeah, here, have the mic. And like, it would be so fun.
Sink or swim, man.
And so other times, people would be like, hey, play covers. Bryce didn't really play covers and be like, oh, Reed probably knows it. Here you go. Do whatever. Play, AC/DC or whatever people are always asking for. So it's just really fun, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I love doing it.
So do you make it like, I'll play AC/DC for $5?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really. I don't know. We don't really demand money. Maybe I'm not good at that. Bryce was more like
The business guy.
the business. Yeah, he would sit there with the guitar, and he had the guitar case and clever signage, and I was just playing bass and playing that part.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
So when you're busking, do you have set times? Are you like, hey, I'm gonna go busk from like 2 till 4
Yeah.
on Saturday?
Yeah,
or whatever?
Bryce. It was his spot, like kind of his idea. I originally did Winston's all the time, and Winston's was where I did, and then he was like, hey, well, Hudson's is a better spot, so we did Hudson's, and he was like, Friday, Saturday, June, July, August, until it snows, literally 11 o'clock, because that's when the bar starts getting busy. Till last call, we were there till like 4 a.m. sometimes. Like, it was insane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was like really, we were putting in a lot of hours doing that.
What's a good take from
For money?
Yeah, for
like
a solid day of
like
busking.
Some of the better times, me and Bryce both had like over $100 cash, but not all the time. Sometimes we have like $20 each, But yeah, some nights we both walked away with over $100 cash. So yeah, about that.
Holy shit.
And you're doing what you like anyways.
Yeah, I would have done it for free. Like, really, we were doing at times. You are just doing it for free
Right.
too. So, yeah.
I don't know if I could have the courage to do that. There's a lot of crazy people out there,
It
man.
is.
You just never know if somebody's going to come grab your instrument
That
and
happened to
smash
me.
it or-
Yeah, I used to always go in front of the Besborough like during the day. Like, me and Bryce and Gustav would go on the weekends, at night, Friday, Saturday. But I used to go during the day. There's that ice cream truck right across from the Besborough, and his name, people know him as Ozzy or Oz. He's just like a Saskatoon downtown guy that's always wandering around. And I was playing guitar, 6-string, and singing, and I had my mic stand. And he came and he grabbed the mic and like spun it around, and he cracked my mic stand. Yeah, it was.
Oh, is that why
It was pretty upsetting. Yeah. So stuff like that does happen. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes for good stories.
That's kind of why I've
Absolutely.
always wanted to, but haven't. Because
The-
it's not something I want to do by myself for the first time.
It is intimidating, but after I've done it so many times, it is it's kind of weird at first, but once you get used to it, I really enjoy doing it. But there's also a lot of other we had other good gigs lined up this summer, so it's like, maybe I won't busk, I'll do open stage and we'll play at Dog Patch and do a set instead. But,
So what are the legalities around busking?
you don't need a license in Saskatoon.
Because I know there are cities where you do.
PA,
need a
you
license.
do, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because me and my buddies would go. Well, my friend Jeff, my best friend ever, he was busking in front of Gateway Mall in PA, and some cop or something came up and basically threatened to give him a ticket. Right. They're like, you need to have a permit, and he was like, really? It was weird. But no, Saskatoon, you don't.
Was that like this year or was
No,
that
this was a
ago?
long time ago, but
You're just playing music.
as far as I know, Saskatoon, you don't. Like, when the Fringe is on, you got to pay to have a
Right,
permit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know we've had Saul Chabot on before, and he was kind of talking about, he does, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he still does, but I know at one time like he did a lot of that, and he actually like just took it to the road. So he would busk around Saskatoon and then hit the road and end up in Calgary and be busking outside the stadium there, and just make his way across the country, just busking everywhere. I couldn't imagine doing that. It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah,
it does.
It's not for me, definitely.
Yeah, definitely not
Do
me.
you busk, Davin?
I don't think I've ever busked, no. I saw my brother do that. My brother is a comedian, and he did busking for a living for about 10 years. So I watched him do it, and it looked... he would do comedy and magic on the street. So it looked pretty exhausting when he did it. So yeah. No, I don't think I've ever busked. No, I never have.
Not interested.
No, I'm not interested in doing that. No.
Wow.
Okay.
So do you have... So the three of you, with how you guys performing together, have you guys ever... I'm sure you've had the conversations before, but do you guys think you'll ever, like, lay something down together and release that and, like, get it out there?
Be an official band?
Yeah, be an official band and do that. I mean, we probably all have our own answer for that. For me, the short answer would be yes. So
I'd say yes.
Yeah, like we haven't named our band. We just awkwardly go around with our three names, just in a big list, which is kind of
Which
like...
doesn't fit on the open
Which doesn't
stage
fit
list.
on any... I know. We were talking about, like, oh, well, we could just book shows under our three names. It's like, that'd be like the longest marquee in the world. Especially because, like, Davin Burlingham, Reed Michael Dickey, like, they're all long names. We all have pretty long names. So, yes, we will not fit on any marquees. I'd like to record a couple singles I keep saying the fall, but it's literally October. Like, the fall's almost over. Yeah. So, I mean, winter, I don't know, like someday before I die, hopefully. So I think that's maybe the thing we're trying to figure out, because Davin already has an album that is coming out that he recorded before the three of us started playing together. Yep. I have some songs that I would like to record. I would obviously want Reed to play, like, he already knows my song, right? So and he's just a great bass player. So I would obviously want Reed to play bass on those songs and to have Davin playing lead or piano. Davin's actually a phenomenal piano player. So I feel like a band name is a great way to kind of credit everybody's contribution, because we're all working under the same name.
Right.
But when you think about recording or releasing music that you've written yourself, you wonder, like, if it's all my songs, do we do it under a band name? I guess the short answer is, like, we really overthink it. Yeah. Yes, we do want to record music. Yeah. Will we continue to do it solo, even though the whole band is playing on the record? Like, who knows? Maybe. Maybe not.
I just thought of a band name for you guys.
Yeah?
Oh, boy.
Right. Lay it on us.
Lavinry.
Lavinry.
Well, La for, like, Lacey, Vin for Davin, and Ree for Reed.
Oh, that's actually great. I had, like, a similar... It wasn't... that. I kind of like that better. Because I've thought of band names that sort of use our individual names as well.
Yeah. Anywho, that's my 2 cents on that.
Hey, we like it.
You officially stumped me.
Okay, we're going to do one called Rainy Day Ladies. So, 1, 2, 3. Feet know to follow the path of my Lord, but none may lead them astray. So what's this devilry points them toward the ladies of lush rainy day? I'd like to honor, as Christians must do, his narrow and brightly lit way. So why is temptation always calling me to sisters of sweet rainy day? They tell me Satan, that evil deceiver, would not see me righteous and pure. So tell me, what would Elijah prescribe for this fever that only Miss Whirly can cure? You know, Miss Hammond, my darling, they don't understand. They call it a shame, they call it a sin, but I swear by this ring you once took from my hand, I'm coming to see you again, see you again. Work days I hammer, I measure, I cut, I sweat at my carpenter's bench.
I'm seized by this thirst I fear nobody but my rainy day ladies can quench. Lord's thy shepherd, they tell me remember, wise and judicious his rule. Oh, but even on Sabbath my love is an ember that only this handsman can cool. I seek out my pastor, but can I confess, you know I will not make hypocrite prayer, because I look for no placement in hell unless my rainy day ladies are there. You know, Miss Hammond, my darling, they don't understand. They call it a shame, they call it a sin, but I swear by this ring you once took from my hand, I'm coming to see you again, see you again. If God were here now, I would tell him, Your Highness, Beelzebub's fiery lake seems to me an oasis compared with the dryness that only Miss Rhodey can slay. My kinfolk admonish that I shall be lonely from Abraham's house. Lord, they never suffer this fire that only Miss Mogan, Miss Fender can douse. For if I were as pious as any church warden, and would it benefit me without them as pours out for me my River Jordan, who fell for me my Galilee? You know, Miss Hammond, my darling, they don't understand. They call it a shame, they call it a sin, but I swear by this ring you once took from my hand, I'm coming to see you again. You know, Miss Hammond, my darling, they don't understand. They call it a shame, they call it a sin, but I swear by this ring you once took from my hand, I'm coming to see you again, see you again. Merci.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Coming back to the releasing to radio.
Yes.
So, like Mark and I, recently we've been working with a Saskatchewan artist, and we helped him get his music to radio as well. And all we, like, truth be told, all we did to get that to like mainstream radio was we hired radio trackers. So we basically sent like all the information to the radio trackers, and because they've already got the connections with all the stations in like the US and international and Canada, they're the ones that distribute it out there. And because they've already got that close connection with the radio stations, they're more prone to pick it up. Instead of like Mark and I reaching out to them as Funky Moose Records, they might be like, who the hell are these two guys, and not even click on the email or whatever, right? But we've got credible sources that have those connections already. And so far, Josh's song yesterday was released at number one.
In the top country
It was the top
on
song
DMDS, so that's the...
It was the number one country song downloaded in Canada yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, what song was that?
Drink Me a Lullaby.
Oh.
Yeah, so we
No, that reminded me of a different song from a Saskatoon artist. No, I have not heard that one.
Yeah, it's so freaking good. Allow me to tell you the little story
Tell
on that.
us.
I do want to keep the focus on you guys, so I might cut this out because this episode isn't about Josh. But you ever wait in anticipation for your song to play on the radio, knowing that it's been requested so many times, and you still can't get it on there? Check this out. Go to Funky Moose Radio, to the app, and scroll all the way down and hit the S button for the search engine. Type in the song that you want to listen to. Hey, Kemper! Kemper, come here, buddy. Come here. What's the name of that song that reminds you of My Singing Monsters that you like?
Semi-climactic.
and boom, your song is played. So yeah, go to Funky Moose Radio and request a song. Stay tuned and enjoy.
What they're doing.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
turns out if you want people to work like it's a job, you should pay them like
Yeah,
it's a job.
yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
Absolutely.
will. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's typically how that goes.
Anyway, let's get back to you.
Yes. I want to know more about you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Do you guys have anything lined up for the winter? Maybe next year already as a band?
As a group,
As a group?
You know,
Solo, maybe? I don't know.
well, like I said, Davin has an album coming out,
Yeah.
so that's happening. But other than that, honestly, I'm sad to say no. We Saskatoon venues book us. So I'm pretty new. I've only been doing music in Saskatoon for like maybe about it's probably 2 years now actually. So just barely 2 years. So to be honest, maybe I find it's not that I don't know what to do, but you know when you feel like you don't know what to do, it's just like, who do I talk to? What do I do?
Every day.
How do I do this? Every day.
All the time.
We were talking about how that's kind of how this industry is,
Every
right? Whether
waking
you're
moment of my life.
it's like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? How are other people doing this? So, yeah, I know it's like, honestly, every gig I've ever booked was offered to me. I've never reached out to anybody and said, hey, you should book us. Which is obviously a really important part of the industry, is being able to market yourself and
Yep.
put yourself out there and say, hey, we're a band and we're available
Yes.
and you should book us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this is the reason why people have managers. Not to say that we need one or that you have to have one, but even just having somebody else do that, because I think part of it is maybe like some imposter syndrome, or, it's just like, it's so easy. Like, I could promote Davin's album all day, every day. That's not hard because it's not mine, right? So I don't have a hard
Right.
time promoting somebody else's thing. But when it comes to promoting your own stuff, it feels harder somehow,
Yep.
Like, it's not even like I don't know how to do it. I could do it for somebody else,
Yeah. Just swap out the names.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
But just pretend that you're managing yourself and you're a different person. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the answer.
I think that's true for a lot of artists. And artists just want to play.
Yeah.
And they don't want to see the business side of it. Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bust for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that it's something that, like, frankly, I just need to get over. That's just kind of part of it. You can't
Yep.
have a like forward-facing or a public job and not promote it to the public. Like, that's silly.
Yep.
But I agree. I think a lot of artists have a hard time coming over that hurdle, promoting your
Definitely.
own stuff.
Yep, for sure.
Standing behind it and saying, I did this and it's fun. You should watch it.
Yeah.
So, Davin, with the album coming out, is there any plans to like tour that album or like performing it live?
How are you promoting it?
And if so, kind of a two-part question. If there is a plan to do that, or is it going to be the three of you who are touring the album? Like, are they going to be your band as you're touring it?
No, I don't have any plans to tour it. How am I promoting it? Yeah. I've never really thought about that. I had the idea of making music videos and trying to put them on YouTube, but yeah, no, I don't really have any plans on how to get it out there
Right.
at all. Yeah,
You're proving my point exactly.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah.
we are very classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No, and there's.
I
I mean,
should.
that's I think a very common thing among artists.
Yeah. We
It's
make
not a
art,
bad
but we
thing,
we don't know how to make other people know that we have art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually you're making the music for yourself, right? So not
Yeah,
everybody.
Yes.
Not everybody needs to hear it. It's nice.
So-
Nice if they do, but
So
No, I
another-
agree. I think it's important to do it because it's
that
fun.
can be true. Yeah.
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 Yeah. You are playing music for yourself because you want to do it for yourself because
Yep.
you love it. And
Absolutely.
Find out what you're gonna play for yourself that you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I was going to ask did you, when the album was completed, like when it was mastered,
Yeah.
before
Who
uploading
mastered it
it.
again?
Yeah.
Colin Classic.
The best sound guy in all of Saskatchewan, in my opinion. Did you get the songs like all licensed prior to uploading it to CD Baby? Like, what I mean by that is, like, did you get the SOCAN registration for it and all of that, or was it something that, like, once it was mastered, you're just kind of like, here it is, it's out there now?
I uploaded the same day that it was mastered. I do have a SOCAN number, and my previous releases, I noticed they're on my SOCAN page. I had 2 albums that I released last year under a pseudonym, and somehow those songs wound up there. I don't remember ever licensing them with SOCAN, but somehow SOCAN knows about them.
Okay.
Maybe they just know them automatically. But
Interesting.
but yeah, I just put them, and nobody.
Well, that would
nobody
be in the metadata or whatever, right? Because that's all programmed
Well,
into
you'd have to put your IPI number in that metadata. For it
And
to-
you do have to put when you put on CD Baby, you have to include an IPI number.
Oh, okay.
right. So that could be
Right.
how
So
it's
that's
all.
how it's
it's
linked.
done,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. No, I know some artists that don't do that when they release their music, and I'm just like,
You can make 2 pennies.
yeah, you could have made 20 cents off of that, bro. Like, why didn't you license it?
Yeah,
Davin has actually made more than $12
I mean,
from his 2
$12.50
secret
off
releases.
Holy
the
shit.
first
Oh,
yeah,
two,
I know. He's doing good.
$12.
Wow, that's actually
They
really
say there's
good.
no money in streaming, but
Frickin' rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's proof right there.
you
Yeah,
almost
there's
buy a
some money
pizza.
there.
Hell yeah.
How long did it take to get to 12.50?
It took a year and a half.
Wow.
Wow, that's $1 a month.
But that's with him promoting it not at all and releasing it under a pseudonym and not telling anybody.
Yeah.
So
So that's not bad. mean,
I know
pretty
I know
good.
quite a few artists that, well, I know one other artist who does that.
What? Does what?
Has like
Upload and not tell
has
anyone?
like not an alter ego, but
Oh, okay.
has albums out there not under his name and are performing better than his, like, going under his name. I'll tell you after the show who it is. Yeah.
Who is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he's
want to know
got.
what his pseudonym is now.
Yeah, I should message him after and ask him again. But
Yeah, and I need to know now. I need to know
Yeah.
more.
he was. Yeah, so another thing that we'll cut out of here, but he was, just tired of all the hoops that he felt he had to jump through, of, like, because he's and all of that, and if he wasn't checking those boxes, people weren't taking him seriously.
Right.
So he was just like, fuck this, I want to do this, whatever, I'm going to just release it under this name, and just did it and didn't tell anybody. And it was, like, doing better than his music was. And he was just like, oh, come on now. But, yeah, he told me that, like, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I was aware of that. So I get it, man. I get it. Sometimes it isn't. You can check all the right boxes, and sometimes that's just not enough neither.
I don't
right?
like checking boxes.
No, me neither, man.
I can't speak for Davin at all with this, but speaking only for myself. So I have a YouTube channel, and it's a secret YouTube channel. It's actually, like, this close to being monetized. If I would ever tell anybody existed, it would help, but I won't.
We're going to
And-
have the link to that YouTube channel in the description of this video.
I'll share this podcast on my YouTube channel
Hell
because
yeah.
it will bring some people there.
Hell yeah,
But I don't
bro.
know how many, but some. And so I've, examined this in myself about, like, what is it? Why can't I, or why won't I? Why was I doing social media stuff under a fake name or under, like, a screen name?
Yeah.
I have I've had an Instagram. Like, all of my socials for a time were just under this screen name, and why is that? And I mean, part of it maybe is wanting a little bit of anonymity. Like, it took me a little while of existing online to be comfortable with people. I just remember one piece of advice that I heard a lot was never, if you're doing stuff like on social media, never use your never use your government name, because and the example they gave, which is so silly, but it's like, what if you're just, if your given names become very recognizable? Imagine, like, sitting in a doctor's office and then somebody calls your name, and now everybody knows that there's, like, an influencer or a musician,
Right.
whatever, like somebody that they've heard of there. You know what I mean? Like, there are times, as much as I'm very much an extrovert, I also enjoy my privacy, like most people, and I enjoy being able to move around the world in an anonymous manner. And so the idea of people knowing who I am when I don't want them to know who I am was very intimidating for me. So I think that's part of it. But then the other part is, why is it so embarrassing to try? This is something I ask myself a lot. Like, why is it so embarrassing to look like you care, to look like you're trying, to put your weight behind something? And I think that was an even bigger reason why I have, like secret social media handles, because it just feels so awkward to promote your music or promote your art or promote your videos under your name, because it's just like, I don't know, what is it, like this phantom high school bully who I think is going to be watching me and like, what's she trying to do, or who does she think she is, Yep. It's like we suppress ourselves before the world even gets a chance to do it. So that's been, like, it's a little bit of a tangent, but I think that's part of it, of why we don't want to release music under our own name, or why we don't promote it on our platforms to our friends and family, because it's one thing to do it for fun, but it feels scary maybe to take it too seriously, or to really care, to really want it to, it's fine. Like Reed said, I think that there's a bit of an expectation almost that when you're doing art, you have to do it for fun. And if you even look like you're trying to do it for anything else, it's like cringy, or it just feels like there's this secret, maybe it's like made up judgment, I don't know, but it is very hard for me anyway to put myself out there and to look like I'm trying, or to look like I care. It's I think that a lot of people feel that way. It's a strange thing in the human condition, where we want to do well, but we don't want to look like we're trying to do well, because then you're trying too hard.
Succeeding can be very intimidating, right? People are afraid of succeeding. It's hard to go to that next step.
And people love an underdog, so as long as you stay kind of like in that I'm grinding, people will be like, good job, but then as soon as you start to get some traction or do well, then there's always like a subsection of people who are going to be like, who do you think you are?
You're a sellout.
Or you're a sellout.
Sorry for making money.
Trying to play.
You only got there because of X, Y, and Z. So I think it feels safer maybe as an artist in some ways to like toil away in obscurity. But it's not. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
You are the riverbed that lets me flow. You are the filament that lets me glow. You are the star by which I know the way to go. I love you so. You are the medium that lets me sow. That lets me grow. I whisper wide, the echo cries. I love you so, for I admire you so. I desire you so, and I require the love that you provide me so. You inspire me so, the whole entire me so. It's much too much fire to keep inside me so. You are the conduit, I feel your love and I am drawn to it. I cannot control it, I just hope I can hold on to it. I just hope I can hold on to it. I just hope I can hold on to it. I just hope I can hold on to it. I just hope I can hold on to it. You are the axis that lets me revolve. You are the tonic that lets me resolve. You are the key to the mystery only I can solve. Only I can solve. You are the riverbed that lets me flow. You are the filament that lets me glow. I whisper wide, I hear the echo cry. I love you so, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so. That was called I Hear the Echo Cry. Thank you very much.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the songs that you performed? You can do them in order,
Sure.
too, if you want.
Okay, so the first two were songs that I wrote. So Give It a Rest I actually wrote when I was walking home from a jam at the Capitol. It may have been before you guys were hosting or shortly after you started. I don't really remember.
But I do know this story.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
So any like
I
you
do
know,
not.
that's that story. What that song is about. That happened that night, and then I just walked. I mean, that was a whole time. Like I walked home and I lost my phone. I had to go back and find it, and I was up very late that night doing all kinds of things, also writing that song. I won't give more details than that because I obviously don't want to expose the person it's written about. That would be mean. But I personally wrote songs about my real life. I write about whatever I want to write about, I guess.
Yep.
At that time, my very favorite artist in the world, Lights, had just dropped an album not that long before it, and so I was very inspired by that new album. It's called Pep, and it's kind of like an alt-rock album, and I thought it was really cool. And I don't know if you can tell the influence in that song, probably not, but that is like what I was listening to a lot when I wrote that song. Particularly like that kind of cool bass run that Reed does. I mean, he wrote that bass line, I didn't write it, but when I was writing that song, I could hear it with like a cool bass part in the pre-chorus, and that was something that Lights did in a song that I really like of hers. There was like a pre-chorus that had a lot of cool bass parts in it, so I think that was probably the musical inspiration, I guess, for that song. The second one, Gemini Moon, like I said, that was that's the first song I wrote as an adult. So I wrote a lot of music, or I wrote a notebook of songs when I was 16. I was really into writing songs and poetry and just writing in general. And then, like, I really can't explain this, but like somewhere along the line, when, like in my early 20s, I just decided that I was a terrible writer. No reason, just decided it. Just took it upon myself to think that I was terrible. I can't tell you any reason beyond that. I just decided that I was like a bad poet and I shouldn't do it. And so I stopped writing for a long time, but I really did it. I thought I stopped writing, but I come across scraps of lyrics on like envelopes and old notebooks. Like I did not stop writing, I just stopped treating it like it mattered. You know, like I would just write things in random places where I would never find it again. And I never worked on anything or wrote it to completion. It was just lyrics that would intrude in my mind and I would have to get them out. I think a lot of creatives feel that way. Not everybody, but that's very much my process. Like it's not a choice for me. I don't try to write things. They just kind of come screaming into reality and I can decide to honor that or let them haunt me forever. So I ran away from writing for a really long time. And then the thing that actually got me back into writing this was a couple years ago now, but I just remember it because I was 32 years old. And like I said, I started writing when I was 16. So it was, literally another 16 years later. And I stumbled across the notebooks that I was working on when I was in high school. And it's not like everything I wrote when I was 16 was good, but there are songs there that I would like to rework or rehash, some things that I wouldn't change at all. And for me, like, looking back 16 years later on something I had written as a teenager and thinking, like, oh, this is still, like, I would still stand behind this. I still like this. I went to the U of S, and I have an honors degree in English, and I took some creative writing classes. So I've always been really interested in storytelling. But I guess I didn't believe in my writing. And then I saw some old stuff I wrote, and I thought, like, man, this is actually pretty good. And from that point, I guess I just felt like it was so sad that I needed to have 16 years of like growth as an adult in order to trust myself as an artist. And I just resolved that I was not going to let that, I was just going to trust myself from that then on out, because if I can look at something I wrote when I was a teenager and still think it's good, then probably the stuff I'm writing now is also okay, even if I don't think so at the time. So, sorry, that's like a really long story, but that's kind of the entire process of me stopping writing and then going back into it. And so when I started writing again as an adult, Gemini Moon is the first song that I wrote. The reason that I wrote it is because I have always kind of had a tendency to write what my brother would call sad hippie music, and he's right. Like, everything I write is just like sad hippie music. And I think that part of the reason is, like, the person who sits down to write a song is a different version of you than the person who gets on stage and wants to entertain people. And so those moments when I was songwriting were always very raw and emotional and intimate and probably sad. You know, that's been like I've had mental health stuff my whole life, so that's definitely a coping strategy for me as well. And I just didn't want to write all these sad bummer songs that nobody would want to listen to, or like that wouldn't be any fun to play on stage.
Yeah.
And so Gemini Moon was the first song I wrote that was, I really just wanted to like write a fun song, you know? So I mean, it's an astrological reference. I'm decently into astrology. My moon is in Gemini, and so that was, when I started studying astrology and I saw that my moon was in Gemini, I just thought, oh, that's a cool song concept, Gemini Moon. I liked it. And so it kind of swirled around in my head for a while, and there were a couple renditions for it to get to that part, to this point. But that's probably the first kind of what I would consider like fun or upbeat song that I've written. It wasn't just all like sad hippie music about not belonging or whatever. So that's that song. I think that's about everything about the songwriting for those two songs.
Heck yeah.
And then the third one was
And
yours.
the third one was Dalvin's song.
Rainy Day Ladies is about Rainy Day Recording Company, the recording studio.
Matt Stinn.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt Stinn. You know Matt. Yeah. So I worked there, and it's about how great it is to work. It references all the musical instruments that he's got there. Like he's a Rhodes electric piano and a Wurlitzer, a Moog synthesizer. He's got a Fender Jazzmaster guitar, a Heinzman piano. What am I missing? There's
Rhodes,
one of
Fender, Worley.
Miss. So those are all. It's about so personifying those musical instruments as Rainy Day Ladies that I missed, that I'm coming to see you again one day. I'll go back and see them again.
I love that.
Yeah.
We actually did a podcast there. We went to that studio when we met Greenwing, and we did a podcast with them at that studio, and none of those guitars, I think, came into conversation.
Well, they're mostly keyboards. There's just the Fender Jazzmaster guitar, but the keyboards they're still the ladies that I miss the most.
But that's also because we're not musicians, so he could tell us anything, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, you think that Davin's a good guitar player, but that's not even his main instrument, is guitar. He just makes do with guitar.
So it's the keyboard that's...
piano is really what I would play all the time if I could get a piano on stage at...
How come there's no piano at the Capitol?
Those are his girls.
We'd like to put a request in. Why is there not?
To have one?
Yeah,
Actually, I've got
a
two
house
keyboards
piano?
at home.
Actually, Aurora brought her own.
I know, a keyboard, yeah.
Those things are heavy.
Frick,
They're heavy and they're cumbersome, but yeah.
Didn't you play piano?
I did once, yeah.
Yeah. Was that on Aurora's, or did you bring your own?
That was borrowed from a friend.
Mark, maybe?
No, it was a lady.
Okay.
We
Was
went
that
to
at
her
the Capitol?
house. It was at the Capitol. It was a little
Terrible memory.
You played a show with her at somewhere else.
Oh, Elise. That was Elise's
Elise.
keyboard. Oh, right. We went to her house and
Elise.
borrowed her. Right, that's right. Yes. I remember this now.
And you played at that show with Elise.
Yeah, Reed, Elise, and I have done a show together.
Elise and we played it somewhere else. February 8th. No, I can't remember the day.
It was in the middle of summer, June.
It was in summer. That's right.
June
That
or
was
July.
February, summer.
Dreadful.
sorry. That was with
February, June, July, somewhere.
That was with. I played at somewhere else pub in February with Glass Castle, the band that
that's
was
right.
previously in. Yeah.
Gotcha.
With Elise. Elise was in that band. A bit confusing.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
where that was.
And then there was another song that you wrote.
Our bonus track.
Yeah, the bonus track, I Hear the Echo Cry. So that one just wrote itself on December 30th last year. It just showed up fully written. So I know it's a love song. I don't know anything more than that.
What do you mean showed up fully written?
It I was sitting at the piano, which I like to do, and I was working on another song, and it just came into my mind. Yeah.
Into fruition or whatever.
Yeah, all the words just showed up. That's never really happened before.
Wow.
So yeah, it's. I know it's a love song, but yeah, I don't know what it means other than that.
Was it? Are you like a very spiritual person?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think very spiritual. Yeah.
So could it be like some type of, I don't know, maybe
divine intervention?
Yeah,
type
it
thing?
could be that. Yeah, because the lyrics are very much like that. You know,
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, the lyrics are like you are the riverbed that lets me flow, that kind of thing, like spiritual stuff. Yeah, so that's the only time that ever happened, but that was a cool experience for sure.
Absolutely.
You wish that could happen more often, but it happened once to me.
It might happen again.
It might happen again. You never know.
Was that at your house, or were you?
Yeah, that was at the piano there. So I think what a lot of people say is if you're having trouble writing, just write anything, and then weird things happen. So I was working on another song that wasn't getting anywhere, and then that one, Here They Go Cry, just showed up.
Huh.
Frick yeah, dude.
Yeah, it just wrote itself, yeah. So that was really good.
I was trying to imagine what happened, and I thought maybe you got a brown envelope at your door with lyrics.
Showed up.
Yeah, play along with this.
You know, it's like that from the. I think that our writing process is very, very different. But what Davin's describing is how a lot of my songwriting happens. Like I was saying earlier, how hard it is to accept the things that you're writing or like the things that you're writing, and for me, I've had to externalize my music. Because most of the songs I write do tend to show up pretty much all in one piece, or usually it's a verse and a chorus, and then if I want to finish the song, I have to actually sit my ass down and write it. But most of my writing just kind of shows up, or just kind of falls on the page that way. Davin's very different. He's a very hard work. I would say you're a very hardworking songwriter because he really works with the song until it's fantastic, like all of his songs are.
Usually, yeah.
Right.
It would be rare for me to do more than one draft. I might finagle a couple lines, but Davin's songs will have many, many different manifestations before they become what they are.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like I don't believe that, I don't see my songwriting as being something that comes from me. Obviously, it is a little bit, I took writing in university, and so I have done my part, I think, to be a good instrument or a good conduit, but I don't see the songs that I write as something that really comes from me because I can't explain where they originate from.
Yeah.
So for me, songwriting and the process of creation in general is very, very spiritual. I have to believe that it's coming from somewhere else,
right,
or else it just seems like nonsense. So I feel like my personal belief is that's kind of what happened with that song. I think that it was just given to you. I think it came from somewhere else. I mean, he wrote it.
How about you, Reed? When you write, is it more like passive or active or kind of a combination?
Well, when I like to write or create just in a moment. I like to write, start with a melody, a bass line or guitar line, and then just make up lyrics and write. I'm probably similar to what you would do. I redraft stuff. I'll write stuff and then rewrite it and cut the lyrics. Oh, that sucked. Cut that out or rewrite it. Yeah. And then I'll keep redrafting it and then, or editing, and then I edit myself out of liking it totally and do nothing with it or something.
Oh, I should mention, Hear the Echo Cry on the album Jayan Corp. Sujay,
yes.
who plays that amazing guitar. He did the guitar solo on that song.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very easy to collaborate with people nowadays. You just ask them, and the internet makes that all very, very possible. So
I love it.
I just message him, say, would you put a solo on the song? And a couple days later, there it was. And so, yeah, Jayan Corp, Sujay Dutta. Did the guitar solo on.
Frickin' rights. I actually haven't seen that guy in a little while. It's been
about
a month.
I miss him.
He's been missing in action a little bit. Where's the Echo Cry available? Is it on Spotify?
Well, that's on that album I just
put that you're releasing.
I just uploaded it 2 days ago. So
right, okay.
It should be out real
quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yes, it will be on Spotify.
It will be on Spotify.
Everywhere where music is streamed.
So, Mark, we're having a little camera issues here.
Sure.
Just Yeah,
Oh.
just on that camera right there, just get us all in the shot. And then we'll button it up here. We had 50 some minutes there, and I think we
57.
and I think we
Hey,
went over.
okay.
Any conversation with me will take at least 50% longer than you think it should. If not twice as long.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, so when did you say the release of the album was again?
We're hoping 2 weeks from now. So,
From now?
so what's
So-
today? October 12th. So let's say Halloween. Definitely, it'll be up
Hey.
a Halloween.
Right. So that might be
Halloween
the
album.
week of this episode dropping. It might be if I'm right.
Yeah, or very close, yes.
Because this episode is not going out this coming Monday, but the Monday after.
Yeah.
So it'll coincide with that. So there you go.
Hey.
So for those of you, so why don't you tell the
green
people,
one.
sorry, at that camera, where they can find your album, and then I'll just ask if, like, where do you guys want all the traffic directed to, and we'll close it out with that.
Great. Yeah, the album by me, Davin Burlingham, I Hear the Echo Cry, should be out by October 31st on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube. It'll be all over.
Awesome.
Right on. And then when can we be expecting
A band name.
Lavenry's music out there?
You know, date to be announced. For now, you can follow me on my private music or my personal music socials, Lacey Joyce Music. That's my handle on Facebook and Instagram.
Hell yeah. And you can just spin this episode on repeat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just talking. Lacey would brought it up like last week. You know, do we want to record? Am I interested? She suggested that she wants to record. So yeah, we definitely would like to record
Yeah.
very soon.
Freaking rights.
Yeah.
More to
Yeah,
come.
More to come.
as soon as possible.
Yes.
Well,
It doesn't take much, right? We just gotta
Absolutely. It just it's
Book the
make a
studio.
few decisions and
Yeah. Make
make
a few
it
decisions
happen.
and book it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And if I, Joel Gadet, have any influence at all on any one of you three, I'm gonna make sure it happens, you guys. I
Thank you.
think you should. I love your music. I love seeing you guys performing live.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
I love that you guys keep coming and hanging out with us at the Capitol and performing there as well. Like, you guys are a true delight
Thank
to
you.
have.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to know that we have an open door policy here for you guys. When that does happen, if you got any stuff coming out and you want to release it and want to come hang with us again and talk about it, just hit us up, man. You guys are a
Yeah.
true friend of the herd here,
Fantastic.
officially.
Will do.
And you guys can come back anytime. We love having you
Thank
guys
you.
around.
And thanks for coming to Bellevue and welcome
Thank
to
you
the
for
Hay.
having us.
It
This
was
has
great being
been
here.
so fun, yeah.
Great
Awesome.
place. Love it.
Great. And then thank you guys at home, and thank you guys in-house here. Excellent.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mark.
thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for all the music. Appreciate it.
it.
Hell yeah.